glad you could find time to join me. This is The Point, and I am Miriam Agutu. My guest today is Mr. Bernard Chitunga from Olivado Group company, a New Zealand-based company, who also has a base in Kenya. Mr. Bernard, thank you for finding time to join me on the show today.
Thank you.
So tell us, Olivado. Yeah. Is that a Spanish word?
No, Olivado is a New Zealand name.
What does it stand for?
Yeah, it's just a good place, a place that is green. And I know it's synonymous because it's
Are you describing Nairobi or Kenya?
Describing New Zealand, Northern Ireland, a place called Kerikeri.
Because you know Kenya is also a place that is good and, and all that.
New Zealand is more greener than Kenya.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, and in Northern Ireland, a place called Kerikeri. So we are a New Zealand company, and we produce edible oil, what we call extra virgin cold pressed oil, and we also export fresh fruit. Yeah, and I'm proud to say we are the leading exporter of and processor of organic avocado oil in the world. Yeah, so Africa is the supply side of the business, and here in Kenya we have a plant in a village called Mirera, which is in Murang'a County, just before Sagana River. Yeah.
Okay, so what do you specifically do at the EPZ? I know you have a company there, so what exactly happens in the company? Yeah,
so we have created the only EPZ zone in Murang'a County. So we have a company there, and we have 1,723 farmers.
How much?
1,723 farmers.
So these are the people you have employed?
These are the farmers who plant for us avocados, and they are spread from Kiambu, Murang'a, Kirinyaga, a bit of Embu, Meru and Nyeri. And these farmers are now organic. They were conventional when the company was coming in Kenya in mid-2000s, but they were converted into organic. So they plant for us avocados, and we support them on fruit management. And then we harvest the fruit to the factory. We export fresh fruit, and we cold press the avocado to produce edible oil, oil that you can use to cook.
I'm really trying to follow.
Yes.
But I'm with you.
Yes.
So just before we go further, you said the company commands about 78% of the world's extra virgin cold pressed avocado oil.
Yeah.
First of all, the extra virgin, like you said, the avocados have to be organic.
Yes.
Is there a difference between that avocado tree you're looking at with the normal avocado trees that us we know as Kenyans?
Yes. What you see as Kenyans and what you walk and eat is a conventional fruit.
Okay.
So you are not sure of the agrochemicals that were used, for that tree to grow. But when we talk about organic, that this tree has been brought up, or this fruit on a tree does not have any, agrochemicals.
Okay.
It uses, at best or at worst, it uses manure.
Okay.
Right? And when the company came into this country, basically, Central Kenya, the former Central Kenya, had 25,000 trees, which were conventional. So it took the company 3 years to convert them from conventional to organic. Just trying to do training to the farmers and teaching them the best agro practices. And now that is what we call organic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what does the company, pay? You contract the farmers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have set up an outgrower scheme. There's a difference on what happens in this country in terms of contracting the farmers and what Olivado has done. Olivado has set up an outgrower scheme. That means it has pumped in, and to be exact, for the last 4 years, we pumped in $1 million to these 1,700 farmers.
That's 100 million.
Yes, that's 100 million
Kenya shillings.
Kenya shillings, which the shareholders of Olivado pumped into these farmers, so that they can solely do what? Supply avocados. And it's not just supplying. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, New Zealand, have brought in expatriates who work with these farmers in terms of managing the fruit on the trees. And also the company has trained field officers who work with these farmers. Then the company has, planters, pickers, loaders on its payroll to be able to manage to pick, to load, and to bring this fruit to the factory.
Okay.
So the farmers only, on the land, on the tree,
Okay.
and follow the instructions as told.
So they have heavily invested in this.
Yes, so Olivado has so much invested into this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you say extra virgin,
Yes.
what does that mean?
Extra virgin simply means this avocado, this is organic, and when it comes to the factory, there is no other additive into it. It is just cold pressed, going through the whole process of extracting oil without adding any chemical, or without chemically extracting the oil. Yeah.
So do you do the whole packaging though after you've done the whole processing, like you've said?
Yeah.
Is the oil packaged here? And when I go to the Kenyan supermarket, can I
Yes.
find it?
So when you go to, when you come to our Sagana plant, you'll find the final product. In fact, in the factory, we don't cook with any other oil.
Okay.
We use the avocado oil.
Did you bring some for?
Yes, we will organize for that. Then, so you will find the final product. Then our sister company in New Zealand, where the bottling, we have the bottling plant. So we take it to New Zealand for bottling. But we have other clients spread across 35 countries who, buy from us in bulk.
Okay.
But because that is an EPZ zone, and we have not so much worked on the regulations, so that we can, because the import duty is still high.
Okay.
So
it's only meant for importation?
For export.
Oh, for export.
For
Yeah.
export. So we don't sell currently in the country, and we also don't sell in any country in Africa.
Okay.
But we sell in 36 countries now across America, Europe, Asia, and now coming to India. But we hope the 12th Parliament will be able to do something.
Yeah, some policies and regulations
on the import duty on EPZ entities, so that we can put this. And for your information, this is the only product from Kenya. You go to, Waitrose in London, you will find labeled product from Kenya.
Oh, wow.
Because you look at tea, you look at coffee, once it's in Mombasa, it's changed. It's a different brand name.
Okay.
But oil from Olivado, it's the only product with labeled product from Kenya. Yes.
Okay, that's really good.
Yeah.
Now, looking at the recent past, people are becoming very aware, especially when it comes to health matters and eating healthy and choosing which oil and things like that. Like, they're paying attention more to the things they consume. Is this one of the reasons that maybe might have advised the start of Olivado? Because I'm assuming it's very safe, natural oil, cooking oil to use.
Yes, this is organic, and the health trends currently, like you rightly put it, are advising on what people are eating and what people are taking. And that is why we have, a push on the demand. And everybody wants our oil. And that is why, like, as a company now, we are saying, how can we now move and expand and move from central Kenya and create new outgrower scheme? And that is why we are going to Kisii, we are going to Kakamega, we are going to Kitale, Eldoret and Meru.
So demand is high.
Demand is huge. Yes.
Okay. So these places you're mentioning is because there's a high production of avocados?
These places,
planting?
yes, like Meru.
A lot of farmers, yeah.
And also because of the conventional, the climatic and the weather conditions, that can support avocado. Yes, and the species that we are pushing using our high health nurseries will just take 2 years. Unlike our traditional trees that take 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. In case you just joined us, my guest today is Bernard Chitungu from Olivado Group of companies, whose mother company is in New Zealand.
Yes.
You said there's a tribe in New Zealand called Kiwi.
Yes, there's a tribe there. The owner of the group is called Gary Hanum, who is our CEO.
He's from that tribe?
He's a Kiwi, and he's a great man. He's the man who started movie and film industry in
New
Zealand and Australia.
Okay.
He's an accomplished businessman, and he has done a lot to this business.
Okay.
And, as I come in to offer leadership, I offer leadership to the Africa interest as the Chief Operating Officer. So, yeah, it's been interesting to learn from him.
I'm speaking to a boss.
To learn from him. Yeah, he's a very intelligent man.
And I'm speaking to a boss right now. If you
To a servant.
to a servant.
Yes, I serve.
But you're representing the African interest.
Yes, to a farmer.
You realize how many countries you're representing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's a bigger responsibility.
Yeah, great
Does that give you a lot of pressure?
Yeah, because you need to ensure that the mission from the owner, from the shareholders, from the CEO is aligned to that person who picks the fruit, to that person who loads the fruit to the truck. You need to basically inspire relationships so that there is productivity in the company.
So you just don't give matching orders?
You don't give matching orders.
Yeah.
You create relationships until people feel valued and feel they own the company. Even that tea girl feel she owns the company.
And convince them to believe in the mission of the company. Okay.
So it's great responsibility. This is why you need to be up before 5 and you sleep at midnight.
Up before 5. And so that's how your day is.
That is how my day is.
Oh wow! So what drives you now that you're talking about how your day is? What drives you?
It's when I walk in central Kenya, or I'm in Kisii or Kakamega, or I go to Tanzania, and you just see the farmers who supply us the avocados. That, an old woman who is 80 years, 70 years, and has just 20 trees, supplying 2,000 kilograms, and you find that she has bought a cow, a dairy cow, from the money. She's bought a mobile phone, a 103-year-old woman. Somebody has built a house. We pay our farmers advances in January before we harvest in April, May. They pay school fees, life-changing stories, and some of their children are working in the company. And, you can see how their lives have
been
changed
and
impacted
by the
on that
company.
social impact. Yeah.
It must be fulfilling.
Very fulfilling.
Okay.
Very fulfilling.
That's really good.
Yes.
Not many companies would boast about that, but it's very important. So what's your relation with the global communities? I know you just mentioned a bit of it.
Yeah, so global communities, we approached them early in the year. And we were asking, because we're looking for grants, we're looking for development partners who can partner with us in terms of setting up New How to Grow a scheme. Then once we set up New How to Grow a scheme, we can use debt or our company funds to build, plants in those regions. So at that time, their program for grants had been shifted to another USAID program, but they were able to link us, to financial access. And we were able to get some funds to buy more fruit. And this year is when we started our fresh fruit. So it needed more working capital to buy, fruit from farmers. So we were able to get a line from financial access. And we,
So global community linked you to financial access?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And we were able to get a line, a working capital line, which has gone a long way in us buying more fruit, and us just, meeting our needs, in terms of exporting fresh fruit.
All right. That's good. So you mentioned earlier that the company commands 78% of the world's extra virgin cold pressed avocado oil. Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Yes, it's a long name.
I know it's such a long explanation, but what does the company's operations in Kenya mean to the Kenyan economy?
When we talk about GDP, that agriculture contributes 24% directly to the GDP and 27% indirectly to the GDP. That agriculture employs 60% formal employment, and that agriculture, contributes 45% to the, revenues, government revenues, and that agriculture contributes directly 55% raw materials. Olivado, we're saying we have employed 400 people here in Kenya. Olivado has 1,700 farmers here in Kenya. And in the next 1 year, we will be at 6,000 farmers. Mm-hmm.
So you're helping solve this unemployment
So it's about that employment. And we're talking about the forex, because we export to 36 countries. All the revenues, 36 countries in Europe, North America. America alone, we are in 5,000 supermarkets. All this revenue come in, forex, and come into our accounts here in Kenya, right? So I may not quantify the percentages, but I can say step by step we are impacting especially the economy of central Kenya, especially Murang'a County where we are located. Okay. Yes. Okay. And you can imagine in the next 2 years we'll be in other 4 counties that I mentioned earlier with the same similar model. Yeah.
Okay. So you in the next couple of years, maybe in the near future, what is your expansion plan now that you've mentioned the other 4 counties? Is there anything else?
So our expansion plan here in Kenya is to have a replica of what we have in Murang'a, in Kisii, Kakamega, Kitale, Eldoret, and Meru. So we'll have 6 plants in Kenya. That means we will have at least, 6,000 more farmers spread across those regions, plus what we have here. Yeah, I think that is a plan that we have for the next 3 years. Yeah, we are implementing what we call Olivado 2.0 strategy.
What is that?
Which is
2.0.
2.0, because 1.0 was the first 10 years, where it was more of pilot, learning this, getting more farmers from here and understanding this region. Yeah. And then basically expansion in more African countries. But not just forgetting, we are also going big now into biogas. We have done one of the largest biogas plants in Murang'a, in the region, which is located in Murang'a, so that all the waste can go to the biogas plant, and we can use the seed to do organic fertilizer. So
all the seed can be
used to do organic fertilizer.
I didn't know that.
Yes, so we are just in the final stages of commissioning the 2 plants. That is for the fertilizer and the biogas. And we can be able to do biogas for other companies who have waste. And fertilizer now, organic fertilizer, we can be able to give to our farmers and other farmers.
Okay. Yeah. I see it's a mutual benefit for the community and even for the government, because you're helping helping solve a lot of these problems, and employment and now energy.
Yes, that is energy. So we can be able to supply, we can bottle gas, and we can be able to supply to the grid also, and power our factories.
That's really interesting. So now, of course, you represent Africa interest in the company. So what other African countries Olivado is present?
Yeah, so for biogas, we are looking at going full-blown to looking at all the 53 countries, because waste is a big problem in Africa.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, so we have guys who are in the agribusiness sector, the chicken, the waste, the cows, the waste, the flower industries, the waste, We are going to support them in terms of developing plants for them, commission for them, then they can reduce their costs on power and also support their grids with power. And for avocado oil and fresh, we are at the advanced stages on our plant in Tanzania, because Tanzania, we are in a place called Njombe. That region.
You also have this similar.
Yes, similar. We are doing a similar plant there, and hope by the end of the year we'll be commissioning it. So in that place alone, it has 300,000 trees, and it's just a small area. But you can imagine a whole of Central has 25,000 trees.
And there is
300,000 trees. So it's a very fertile place for us. Then after that, we can see other countries that we can go to. Malawi, Zambia, Uganda are good for avocados. Burundi is very good also.
Okay. Yeah. So there have been cases where a lot of complaining that it's very difficult for a foreign company to come and set up shops in Kenya. The taxing, the paperwork, it's a lot. But you guys have managed to do that, and now also in Tanzania you're saying it will be commissioned very soon. So how would you compare, say, setting up a foreign company here in Kenya and Tanzania?
And Tanzania. Kenya is a bit easy.
Oh, really?
Kenya is a bit easy.
So we're not that bad.
Yeah, Kenya is a bit easy.
Yeah.
And because of the EPZA agency, which is a government agency, try to give investors a 10-year tax period, holiday.
Tax-free?
Tax-free,
Okay.
which we have. Yeah, and we have been operating for 7 years, 3 years to go. And they support you. You know, they have been, EPZA have been good to us to support us in terms of our operation. And also Kenya Association of Manufacturers, supporting companies on, related issues that we may have with the government. And also the county government, where we are located in Murang'a. Be this, devolution, agriculture is a devolved function. Issues to do with safety, issues to do with health, issues to do with extension. Yeah, and also just the leadership of the county, Mwangi wa Iria, the governor.
They're very supportive.
Very supportive.
Wow.
And even just the local administration, the chief, the assistant chief, and the DO. Because, you're employing the locals and support.
But there's some places where even if they're benefiting, there's still going to be a lot of hindrances.
Yes, and also our executives just, being their visas, their work permits, because our company has many expatriates who work here, been supported with work permits, and our executives with unlimited travels for a year in the country to hold meetings, which is a good thing.
That's good. So it encourages.
Yes,
there's some good news. So it's not all that bad.
Yes.
People, we have a system that works.
Yes, it's only corruption. Yeah, and also we have not looked at agriculture as a business.
And that's what I wanted to ask you, because now this is a very successful agriculture-related sector, it's agriculture. And of course, Kenyans' statistics show, agriculture is a major contributor to the economy.
Yes.
Apparently,
yes.
Or supposedly.
Yeah.
But do you think there's enough attention paid to the agriculture industry?
It's more of a mindset issue, more of attitude. But I'm in this sector, I walk into the farms. A farmer has an acre. He has 50 trees. They are giving him 100 kilograms each tree. That is 5,000 kilograms. And looking at the price I pay, that is 200,000 shillings.
Wow.
And we have 2 seasons in a year. That is, 800,000 shillings. Who can earn 800,000 shillings in a village?
Oh, wow. So those are rich people over there.
And that is just a small piece of land.
Wow.
That's a small piece of land.
That is real
So we
impact.
need just to seize the moment. I think as Kenya, as Africa, we have sat for too long. And I think also we have danced for too long. We just need to stand up and think.
Okay.
And seize the moment.
And maybe work now, take action.
Yes, take action.
Okay. Well, that's really encouraging. If you were to head, say, the agriculture ministry for a day.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope it happens one day.
What are some of the urgent, radical changes you think we need?
Yeah, so if I sit in the seat of Willibet, and I'm there for 5 minutes.
And makes decisions.
Agro industries will revolutionize the economy for this country. We have many investors. We have many people who want to come to this country. And how can the government link them, especially on the equity risk of the business, in terms of sensitization, in terms of helping those foreigners to own pieces of land where they can be able to set up this. And in terms of putting forums together where they bring development organizations, where they bring banks,
facilitation,
financial institutions into a room and just make this to happen. So it's more of policy issues related to agro industries and related to SMEs. Yeah, because SMEs are looked at, SMEs need a lot of support for them to come up. But nobody puts so much investment. Because, for example, if it's an avocado, we need somebody who will do the seed for avocado. But tell me, is there even any single allocation to support an avocado? And it's sad to say this. You go to PTC, which is a government, a CARI-owned nursery. You request for 50,000 seedlings. In a year, you get 500.
Wow, in a year?
in a year, and you need 50,000 for just your farmers. And that is a government-owned entity. How will you get farmers to have those trees, to get those seedlings? Yeah. So we just need some sort of shift and mindset change in the government, the way the ministry will look at the agro, yeah, the agro
sector.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, of course, the unemployment is such a big issue right now in Kenya, and a lot of young people.
Yeah, and it can be sorted
from
through
colleges.
agribusiness.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Can agriculture be an answer to some of this, to this big problem?
As small as I am, at any time I have 4 interns from universities, and that is what we try to do as a business, just to support, to support and give them a small stipend, feed them, transport them, and make them to learn, hands-on at any time throughout the year. But if we could be many of us, or if government could support more SMEs, and they are doing like that. We are in, 47 counties, and we have thousands of SMEs around. They are supported, through either Directorate of Industrial Training, DIT, who can send little monies to support these guys, who can come to train and they are paid. It could, reduce significantly the rates or the percentages of unemployment.
Especially among the young people in this country.
And if, for example, also government or county governments are supporting these nurseries to get young people using their small plots of land to get these avocados, to get these trees, and, development organization and ministries like Ministry of Foreign Affairs in New Zealand who bring their expatriates to support our farmers, supporting them. At the end of the day, 2 years, the trees are fruiting and these guys are in money. They will not come to Nairobi to look for white-collar jobs like
I know,
what we do.
And the devolution was supposed to solve that.
Yeah.
Yeah. To create opportunities in the county.
So devolution was supposed to do that. Maybe more funds need to be devolved for
especially towards agriculture.
Towards agriculture, because agriculture is a devolved function. In terms of extension, when we used to grow up, you could see extension workers from the ministry. You no longer see them. I don't know where they went to.
Well, they retired. They're here to be replaced, I'm assuming.
Yeah, sure.
All right, Bernard Chitunga.
Yeah.
It was wonderful to have you on the show today.
Thank you so much.
And congratulations with the good job and how you're changing lives.
Thank you.
It's very important.
Thank you.
And we appreciate.
Asante sana.
Thank you.
Great.
This has been The Point. I am Miriam Ogutu. Thank you for watching.